Copenhagen's colour is changing. Away from the light pastels of the harbour, red and white of the Danish flag, it's now very much a green city. And to do this, its people are proudly a nation of biking Vikings, a transformation championed by the former mayor, Bo Asmus Kjeldgaard, who takes us on a tour of Copenhagen's growing cycling network.
This superhighway makes it very, very fast and easy for bikers to come from this side of the harbour to the other one. So we actually can see that it moved people from cars to bikes when we made that. And this is actually our policy in Copenhagen. You should make the policy in London where you can get the fastest way to get from point A to point B is by bike, then you'll see a lot of bikers.
More than half of Copenhagen's commuters cycle. In London, the figure is just above 4%. And someone's even worked out that there are more bikes than people here.
People might say, well, it's fine for Copenhagen, it's got lots of cycle lanes, London's much bigger. What do you say to them?
It has not always been like that in Copenhagen. We have prioritized to make the bike lanes.
It's hard to imagine now, but cars were once kings of the road in the Danish capital.
In the 60s, it was actually becoming quite extreme car city. Everything, the future was a car, and we wanted to make big highways through the city.
But environmental concerns changed the city's focus from the car to cycle, although the transformation took decades and was never without protest.
For example, there was a lot of arguments about this bridge. Why would you build a bridge right next to a bridge? Like, what's the need? And now you see it's a super popular bridge. There's more than 15,000 cyclists here every day. That's more than there's cars on the Øresund Bridge connecting Denmark and Sweden.
What advice would you give to Londoners?
Of course, it's annoying that you can't do what you normally do, but think about the bigger picture of why this is happening. A lot of people are dying because of air pollution, so change is possible.
And Copenhagen is getting even stricter with cars. Like Jyllands, it's banning the most polluting vehicles from October and replacing its diesel-powered buses with electric and hydrogen. And on one stretch of road,
it says zero emission vehicles accepted.
They're trialling a no-emission car zone, but even in green Copenhagen, motorists ignore the rule.
We can see here 2 cars going over it. I bet none of them are electric. Like the white one coming down here is, yeah, you can hear the engine.
What do you make of this then?
If you don't get the people that are not part of that idea to follow it, then it failed.
Making prohibitions like this, it has a lot of consequences for ordinary people and their lives. So things has to go together. You cannot just like from one day to another say, now you cannot ride your car.
But not everyone here is happy about the growth of bicycles. Dennis Lange represents the Danish Car Association.
A lot of people actually need their car to make their life doable. They have to go to work, they have to put the kids to school and so on. And if you don't live and work the right places, then you need the car.
But getting on their bikes isn't the only way Copenhagen is going green. It has aims to be a completely carbon neutral city. And that means using renewable energy, like wind and solar power, and a waste-to-energy plant like Copenhagen, which produces electricity and heat from the city's rubbish.
And from the top, the views are incredible, but what you don't see is what you smell, and that's very much a hint of rubbish in the air. And it's a reminder that we're on top of a recycling plant.
Although some carbon is released here, no toxins are emitted.
But being green doesn't have to be boring, because Copenhagen is also a ski slope.
Instantly, one of the least desirable places in the city is transformed into an attraction. And the same principle is applied to the once polluted harbour. The sea is so clean, it now welcomes public swimming.
And there's only one way to test how clean it is, and that's to jump in the harbour. Oh my God!
Underwater, it's clean and clear. And you can even have a look yourself.
Here in Copenhagen, we try to combine 2 values, sustainability and life quality. We call it livability.
Copenhagen might be awash in a sea of green policies and politics, but the biggest driving force for change here is its people.
Is it tough cycling everywhere?
No, it's not. Traveling around Copenhagen is basically only by bike. Yeah, I don't have a car.
Yeah, is it hard being green? Do you have to make sacrifices?
Yes, yeah.
And is it important to be green?
I feel like it is. It's about the planet, you know.
While London argues about a low emission zone, Danish ambitions are greener and cleaner. Their aim is for no emissions. Rags Martel, ITV News, Copenhagen.